This is WLOX News Now at 6. Your news starts right now.
Today, a major day for many cities across South Mississippi as voters take to the polls for this primary election, deciding who will lead their cities for the coming years. And ahead of Hurricane Ida, local governments are taking action to make sure residents will be safe when Ida does make landfall. Hancock County issuing a mandatory evacuation for certain low-lying areas just this afternoon. That's because it's the holiday season. Like you said, there's only 2 sleeps left until Christmas, and everyone is trying to make it to their holiday destination in time for the big day, Christmas Day. In regards to that election fraud the president is speaking of, many of his supporters believe this. We just ran a story about some South Mississippi residents who believe the election was stolen. What do you have to say to your constituents here in the Magnolia State who believe that truly an election fraud took place and this election was stolen from the president?
Continue to participate in the process.
Really was a nice day. It actually felt a little warmer today than it was over the weekend.
It did. Over the weekend, it was pretty chilly, definitely what you'd call fall-like.
Yes, well, we had a little bit more cloud cover, too, over the weekend.
Mississippians no longer bound by state orders to wear a mask, and businesses are freed of capacity limitations imposed by Governor Tate Reeves. Students in the Harrison County School District will have some extra protection on the way to and from school. The district is placing cameras in and around school buses to help catch unsafe drivers. You are currently the mayor of Waveland, which 16 years ago was ground zero for Hurricane Katrina. What are you feeling like tonight on the eve of such a historic hurricane to have a storm like this coming through your city?
It was really eerie.
Eric, all of us here on the Mississippi Gulf Coast waiting in anticipation for Hurricane Ida to make landfall. What's the latest on what we can expect here?
Well, we're definitely going to have to keep a very close eye on it.
We have just confirmed with Sheriff Troy Peterson that the fatal shooting that occurred here in Biloxi this afternoon involved not only the Biloxi Police Department, but also the Harrison County Sheriff's Department. And again, that shooting was fatal. There is a vast array of law enforcement on this scene. They've been on scene since the shooting occurred, but the Mississippi Bureau of Investigation is the lead investigating agency on this case. As you saw from our reporters out there, all of that rain creating some dangerous conditions on the roadways and around people's homes, and rescue workers actually saved a Texas family after they were trapped in a house while visiting Riverside in D'Iberville. Coast casinos and our casinos statewide were forced to close at the height of the coronavirus pandemic. But something that was unique to casinos here on the Mississippi Gulf Coast was hurricane season. Hurricane season also put a huge damper on coast casinos as they were forced to close for several days during the fall. It's been a long time coming. I know that we specifically spoke a few months ago about the flag issue, and I know that's something that you've been working on and speaking with constituents about. How did you feel today seeing all of your work and everything finally come to fruition?
Allison, I was actually emotional.
Today, we also asked the governor about the possibility of a special session to implement a state medical marijuana program. Mississippi voters overwhelmingly supported the program more than a year ago, but the governor says they may still be waiting a little bit longer.
And today is Emergency Nurses Day.
And given what local ER nurses have been through for over a year and a half now with a pandemic and multiple hurricanes, the theme of this week is appropriate, and the appreciation of their work is, of course, well-deserved.
Mike Lacey has more from Memorial Hospital. We're still seeing a lot of sunshine, and cooler temperatures are on the way.
I cannot wait for it to finally feel like fall. And you said many people will say it will actually feel like fall soon.
Many will say it will feel that way, and many will say it feels a little like summer today.
Tonight we've got 50 pounds of smoked pork, 50 pounds of smoked chicken, and then of course red beans and rice for all those people from over in Louisiana. It's just a really great thing that they are doing over here in Jackson County, and we've heard from several people that one of the reasons that people are dedicating their time and efforts to this is because here in South Mississippi, we've all gone through catastrophic hurricanes, and people here really know what it's like to be in that situation and have to leave their home and be in a strange place. 98,349, that's the number of COVID-19 vaccine doses that have been administered so far here in South Mississippi. The Department of Health has released new data breaking down the state's vaccination rates by age, and looking at those numbers for 18 years old
and up. The age group between 18 and 24 years old is the lowest vaccinated group here in the state of Mississippi.
Officers are up there at the top of that bridge conducting an accident reconstruction. They say that accident reconstructions are conducted anytime there is a possible fatality involved in a car accident. Right now, they're just saying a possible fatality, as no fatalities have been called yet.
Mississippi pleading its case that states should have the right to restrict access to abortions, and Governor Tate Reeves telling us his end goal is to ban the procedure entirely. Star Trek's William Shatner has become the oldest person to go into space. The 90-year-old actor, best known as Captain Kirk, lifted off in Blue Origin's New Shepard rocket this morning. Mark Strassman reports from the launch site just outside of Van Horn, Texas. The governor signing an executive order that will go into effect at 5 p.m. tomorrow and stay in effect until March the 31st. Right now, several communities still dealing with substantial flooding. Our Chancellor Wynn is live right now in our WLOX storm tracker with a look at what communities are facing. Chancellor, earlier you were following a high water rescue. Is that still the case right now?
Yeah, Allison, if you actually look just to my left on here, one of these rescues has just taken place.
The casino will now mandate their employees to take the coronavirus vaccine. Our Tristan Rupert spoke with casino executives and employees to gain insight on the decision, and he brings us this story.
Start the work week, the heat wave is on.
It sure is. It's quite a change from all the rain that we've had, as you said, for about the past 2 months.
It certainly is.
That's news coming in as we get ready for one of the most exciting events in Cruising the Coast lineup, the flame throwing contest. And that's where we find our Tristan Rupert, who is there live to bring us all of that fun. Tristan, what's happening out there tonight? And also developing in the Pascagoula-Gaucher School District tonight, Superintendent Dr. Wayne Rodolfich is set to retire after over 15 years of service to the district. A lot of rainfall in our area, of course, causing many rivers to rise, the Biloxi River among them, and it's still rising in a moderate flood stage.
And our Tristan Rupert joins us live now from the river with a look at how the conditions are shaping up right now.
Developing at Biloxi High School, a student arrested after another gun is found on campus. It's the second time a student has been found with a firearm just in the last week. $3 a gallon, that's what it costs to fill up at an average pump here in South Mississippi, and analysts say that price might not be coming down anytime soon. According to data from AAA, it's the highest average price our state has seen in 13 years.
Like saving time ends, which means you need to set those clocks back 1 hour,
right,
so you're not early to everything. I mean, it's much better to be early than late.
I was about to say, it's never a bad thing to be early, but don't forget to do that on Sunday. What time approximately?
2 a.m. Well,
2 a.m. Okay.
Really before you go to bed Saturday night. Most of the time, though, our phones automatically
do it. Oh, the beauty of technology.
But the clock in your house will throw you off.
Right, the old-fashioned clocks. Remember to turn those back. And thanks for joining us here tonight. We will see you back at 10 o'clock. Have a great night.